Tammany Hall. Oh, I should have dressed up. You know, top hat and all. Make Tony happy. Anyway. Or at least make him make fun of me or something. I don't know. Never can tell. So, first of all, one worry before we touch the game itself. My damn camera. When it runs through 3 digits of hexadecimal videos, it rolls over and is at 0 again. Great. Well, it decides to hide them in a different folder, and that's causing me nightmares here. Trying to find and make sure I have everything pasted back together. You know, the thing holds 28 minutes. Okay, granted, you could plan for the future. Maybe I have a gig, you know, of memory, you know, attached to it. Maybe I have 8 gigs of memory. But wow, 3 digits hexadecimal is a lot of different things. That's a big number. I'm not going to calculate it out right now. All right, let's get to the review. Getting used to my style here if you're not used to it before. Let's open up with a big popular new game and go into some side diversion about that. Just totally piss everyone off. So, this is the Pandasaurus version, and component-wise, it's really, really top-notch. The map, as beautiful as it should be, and really well done. Nice texture to it. I'm important on textures. I did not use the little stickers, which I think are kind of the biggest innovation or something. They kind of spoil the game for me. They would not spoil the game, but they would spoil the cleanliness of the pieces. These little discs are perfectly fine. It's not like the squares have any kind of markers on them. It's not like these are really the countries anyway. They're just the nationalities. So putting the national flags on them, it would make sense. If they were counters, I'd be fine with it. You got these top-notch little wooden pieces, great. The little top hat guys, part of the Kickstarter thing, you know, I think they were just searching for what the hell can we do to Kickstarter? What can we do? These cards, on the other hand, are kind of cool. I'm glad they came out with it because they're a helpful reminder. You're sitting with this in front of you. Otherwise, you might forget to look on the board and see, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be able to do that. It's no huge thing if you don't, but that's okay. This bag for the cubes is just perfection. Alright. Anyhow, enough on that little bit. And the box is fantastic too. It's an armored GMT type box that something in me almost wants to attack them to see if I can destroy them. You know, how much can they take? How much damage can they do? Alright, on to the game itself. So this is the kind of Euro that I really, really like. The actions for me are almost instantaneous. I just know what I want to do. I don't have to think about them. Does that mean there's no thinking in there? No, not at all. It's just that I'm doing them on instinct, and I'm not sure how to quantify that because you could count the living crap out of this game. I could see someone being totally AP on this, constantly counting up all the different cubes to figure out, oh, do I have the lead here? Do I have the lead there? Can I get this? Can I get that? The truth is, it's too complex for me to accept that I could get a grasp on it until right at the end of the election. If I'm one of the last couple players at the end of the election, then maybe I would want to count. But for the most part, it's not worth doing the work because whatever work you do, somebody can undo on you. It's like it's like with certain aspects of XX in terms of you just got to play it by feel, man, and eventually you'll fall into or fall out of a position that's good, Eventually things will fall where they are depending on how you're just playing it by feel. But you can't completely calculate it all out. Trying to do so, well, I can't. Maybe you can. No, I really cannot. And I know that I can't. In a way that I don't know that I can't calculate out, say, Age of Renaissance. So that's a big factor in this. One of the things, though, that led me to this was sort of the theme. And as I've played it, I'm not seeing much there. Yeah, I mean, for a Euro, fine. But there's not anything more than a Euro-themed game there. Can it be played otherwise? That's a question that I touch on a little bit in the videos. Could you sit down and try to play this like you would play a Junta game? And I think the answer is not really. I think the answer is you could open it up to negotiation, but that negotiation would come down to Eurothink and Eurospeak. It would be, I need you to remove this cube. If you do that, I'll do that. I think the game would really, really suck if you tried to do that. And that's kind of a pity. Maybe some very broad or briefly timed negotiation. Hey, help me out in the 3rd precinct and I'll help you out there. I think something like that would be fine. I think very much, hey, this person's ahead, we have to knock him back, you take care of this province, you take care of this ward, I'll take care of this one, whatever. I think that would be okay. But if you got down to a full negotiation on this sucker, it would be an absolute nightmare. Because essentially to convince somebody of your argument, you would have to explain the kind of counting that I say I can't do. I can't do it. Not 3 turns in advance, On that last turn, yeah, you can see there's some very clear things. Hey, I slander him there. He's not going to have a piece. But even when you're on that last round, if you're early, if you're not slandering a single piece and he can't replace it, you still can't be sure. Because he can come in with more. Yes, that'll cost him some action somewhere else, but it doesn't guarantee you your position. One thing that we didn't see in my game at all, and I think probably isn't very common, is where more than 2 people fight over a given ward. To me, that seems like a misuse of your ability, essentially. Because if 2 people are already fighting over it, unless you've got some magical reason, like you can, kill the immigrant that they need or something, unless you've got some magical reason that you can beat them both without expending a tremendous amount of effort, then why not go pick on somewhere else where they're weaker, where they're not already focusing, and beat them, fight them there. Now, here's the one reason, maybe you want neither of them to win that. Maybe it's so vital. I haven't seen property that vital in this game. Tammany Hall certainly isn't. It's worth an extra victory point. But that's just like 2 provinces, or 2 wards. So, anyway, a lot of people have had a lot of things to say about it, and they're probably far more comprehensible than I am in these kind of things. I just look at it and give you this snapshot. And what I've come up with from it, playing it opposed, 2-player, no doubt, no less, which it's not supposed to handle, but it seemed to work very, very well that way. And didn't seem totally calculable. I mean, it seemed like you still couldn't really control the board the way you'd like to in a game if you were calculating it completely. So holding on, I'm sure it would work very well in a group as long as they play quickly. But if someone does try to sit down and play this and figure it all out, oh boy, I think that's just going to be a complete nightmare for everyone. And some games it works okay with. This one, I think they're chasing. I think they're chasing something that's impossible, essentially, because you just cannot guarantee what other people are going to be doing. You can get a pretty good grasp when there's only a couple of people left to go before the election. But anytime before that, man, so much can shake you up. People can place anywhere on the board. They can be pulling immigrants and changing the nature of things. They can be shooting immigrants. They can be moving them around. Whatever they do, I guess it's gerrymandering and arresting, not shooting and just and moving them to new locations. But yeah, there's just too much here, too many opportunities. All you got to do, you go on feel, you try to keep your head down, I think. Make it look like you're not winning, not doing well. You got to be careful because the victory point track might give you away. But yeah, I think this is also one where maybe it makes sense to kind of stay close but in second. What we saw in the game that I played was the person who was in the lead ended up winning. The person who was in the lead for for pretty much the whole game, but they looked weaker than one of the other players. They had the appearance of not being, although they had the victory point lead, of not being able to capitalize on a lot of points. So people kind of hit the other guy a little harder than they should. All right. Up it goes.